Wow, someone is going to inspire you so much at the beginning of this week, and this in itself, it's such an important stage of your life. When I say that someone is going to inspire you, I'm talking about somebody really beautiful, somebody really amazing, somebody who is indeed in your life. And I'm talking about someone who is extremely intuitive, but also I'm talking about someone sorry, who almost always makes the right decisions, you know, when it comes to their life. But this is how you feel about that particular person. Such a person doesn't really exist who make every single decision which is a right decision when it comes to our lives. No, baby, no. Because sometimes we do need to make wrong decisions, because if we don't make wrong decisions, we don't learn as much as we should about a specific situation in a way that we should, you see. So it all depends on our spiritual journey, and it all depends on our karma, of course. But in your eyes, I'm talking about someone who just doesn't get things wrong. This is how you feel about this person. And somebody who is extremely grounded, and somebody who is extremely beautiful, both inside and out. This person is gonna inspire you so beautifully, and this person can actually be somebody who is in your life, like physically around you, or it can also be somebody who you actually really look up to quite a lot, or somebody who you kind of get an advice from like every now and then, or someone who you kind of understand a lot about your personal situation just by feeling them, by watching them, by kind of getting their energy and vibration. It kind of helped you a lot. So it is to do with somebody who normally inspires you. So this particular person, as I said, could be somebody who is like pretty much so in your life, like your friend or a family member, or it could be somebody who you really kind of listen to every now and then, maybe watch every now and then, you know, like someone who you pay attention to every now and then, but also somebody who does kind of makes you feel really good about yourself. So these type of people are really kind of beautiful when it comes to our lives. They make a beautiful impact on our lives. So anybody who makes us feel good about ourselves, anybody who makes us optimistic about ourselves, anybody who makes us positive about ourselves, you know, is really kind of beneficial to our lives in so many different ways. Of course, you know, of course that these people are very important, because they have the power, beautiful power, to almost immediately shift our vibration and shift our energy, and that in itself provides us with the ability to kind of elevate, you know, and see the situation from a different angle, through someone who we really appreciate, and through someone who we know that is extremely wise, through someone who we know that is extremely strong, you know, at the same time. So this is going to mean to you quite a lot, my gorgeous Virgo, indeed. And I am talking about the stage and the period in between the 10th and the 16th of October 2022. So it's all going to start within the first days, and I am talking about the 10th and 11th of October very specifically. These 2 days are gonna be remarkable when it comes to that inspiration. So what is this inspiration going to be all about? What is this person going to inspire you? Do you know what this person is going to inspire you with, or inspire you about? It's a lot to do with their strength. It's a lot to do with their power. It's a lot to do with their own ability to deal with a very difficult and strange and unusual, bizarre situations in life, you know, in such a way where you just find something, you admire that person, because this person is also kind of has got this ability to kind of deal with the things with kind of snap of a finger, with things that you would kind of take such a long time to kind of get into, such a long time. With the parts of your life where you would kind of overthink very often, because you would worry, because there could be so many different kind of impacts and influences that could actually get you to this stage. You know, normally when you go into a deep thinking mode, you know, and things like that, then that slows you down, and it makes you to overthink, and then it makes you to overanalyze. And this beautiful person is just going to inspire you also to kind of deal with the problem with a problem, with an ongoing issue in your life that was affecting you for such a long time, but maybe some of you haven't even been honest with yourself in order to get to this stage. So it all depends, where you are at your spiritual journey. But trust me, it is all going to start with that particular inspiration, because it's not about a new beginning. It's not about a new start. It's not about a new element coming into your life. No, baby, no. This is to do with something that has just been kind of affecting you so much. And through that person, you are going to get a vision. You're going to gain the actual vision, how to live a very, very kind of difficult, how to deal with a very difficult stage of your life. But it's also to do with you understanding at this moment in time, my God, that you need to make the necessary move. This necessary move, it's not going to be easy, but it's really important. And what this necessary move is all about, I said it's not to do with a new project, new start, new beginning. I suppose it is to do with a new start and new beginning, but not as such. It's to do with you dealing with an ongoing issue, problem that created an unhealthy, very, very unhealthy attachment in your life. So this is something that, it's going to be so important to you, because it's to do with a problem, not a problem that, not an issue that was just kind of like from yesterday or day before. This is to do with an ongoing problem that you would be thinking about it so much. And what this ongoing problem that created like a very negative and unhealthy attachment is to do with, it's to do with the plan from before, something to do with within the last couple of years. You were really planning so much, so you were very keen and very eager to do something in your life that means to you so much. But it's also to do with like a really big change, and it's a lot to do with an immediate environment as well, and it's a lot to do with so many changes in your life. So what happened? You see what I mean? What happened? That's what I'm talking about. So within the last couple of years, it was your plan. It was the point in your life where you wanted to get, where you wanted to be, what you wanted to achieve. It's a lot to do with almost like, oh my God, this is to do with also you creating such a powerful point here where you are really going to do something amazing. It's not only kind of knowing what to do with an ongoing problem, which decision you're going to make, but it's also you're creating such a powerful point, such a powerful stage, such a powerful beginning in your life, where this stage, this week, it's going to put you back on track. This week, it's all about your comeback. You are about to readjust yourself. Do you understand me? Readjust towards your dream. So it's just, don't be surprised this week when you're suddenly, there's going to be a lot of oh my God, I should have done this 300 years ago. Do you know what I mean? I should have done this. You're going to have lots of points, you're going to come across lots of things throughout this week where you're gonna have points why didn't I do this? Why am I being so weird? Why didn't I do that? Why didn't I do that? Now I'm ready to do this. So don't surprise when these powerful emotions take over. These powerful emotions are also trying to let you know, to pinpoint to the certain parts of your life that you need to deal with. It's a lot to do with maybe the things and the problems that you have created yourself. I'm not blaming you for anything, but this week it's gonna be remarkable when you come out of yourself finally. This is so important because so much is still holding you down, and this is reflecting on you not coming out of your comfort zone, and it almost have put you in the stage of a little sleeping beauty, my gorgeous Virgolini sleeping beauty. It's almost like it put you in this stage of a being sleepy beauty, knowing that there are certain things that you need to do, that you need to pay attention to, that you need to carry on with, but you are the only one who can actually do this. So it's so important. Don't be surprised when now suddenly few different aspects of your life seriously are going to be highlighted throughout this week, and it's my God, you're gonna be like this. My God, I'm so weird, I'm so bizarre sometimes, I'm so strange sometimes. It doesn't matter. This point, this stage, it's important. And now I want to explain to you that it's all going to start here, my gorgeous Virgolini. So it's all about you having this vision, how you actually gonna do with this a very negative stage of your life, but you are also at the same time gonna need to understand that this is to do with a very, very unhealthy attachment. It's something that it's also that you're aware of, that became pretty much a very unhealthy attachment that is slowing you down. It's slowing you down, and it's slowing you down, and you need to release yourself from this huge amount of the actual negative energy. And you can only do this by carrying on with those things in your life that make sense to you the most, my gorgeous Virgolini. So this is what you need to do from the beginning of the week. But at the same time, something like quite unusual, it's actually going to happen. Something really weird and bizarre, but it's going to be good. Don't worry, it's going to be really good actually. So a couple of days after this moment in time, something very unusual is going to happen, like completely like a big mama. It's like, hello, my darling. Big mama is coming up here, like very much so the situation that there is no way, even if you're like kind of thinking about this situation, even if you're like kind of like there is no way that you would have known about this actually happening. So this is when things are going to start changing for you. Just exactly a couple of days later, you are right at the beginning of this week, you're actually going to have a very much so an unexpected situation. This is an XYZ situation. I say XYZ situation because this is indeed going to happen completely unplanned. You are going to find yourself in a completely unplanned dimension, somewhere, like you will find yourself somewhere where you did not plan to be whatsoever. Even if it's like a trip to the shop or something that you didn't plan, you know what I mean? It's still kind of unplanned. And let's say it's like, oh my god, it says 8:30 in the evening. Oh, I need to go to the shop. I never go to the shop at this particular time. Bizarre. Or whatever. Suddenly you need to go to the shop and then something is going to happen. So it is going to happen at around the time when you are not going to be thinking too much or too intensely about things around you. Maybe you will be thinking, oh, I'm just going to buy bread. Do you know what I mean? And then suddenly what is actually going to, and on your way there, for example, so it's not about you going to buy bread, do you know what I mean? But on your way there, or like kind of like once you get to where you buy bread, for example, or once you get to your destination, wherever you go, something very unexpected, it's actually going to happen. And what is going to happen, like someone is like kind of gonna try to, someone is really kind of gonna show their real face, someone is gonna try to like kind of wind you up, and someone is gonna try to like kind of like agitate you or kind of irritate you, and almost as if someone is going to try to have like a little argument with you. But you need to understand, it's not about that person being horrible, it's not about that person being evil, it's not about that person being nasty. Do not take this personal whatsoever. That person, they have gone through something ridiculously difficult, something bizarre. They have done something, that person, they have done something, do you know what I mean, to themselves, like not that long ago, and what they have done to themselves, like basically now they're kind of realizing what they have done, some kind of like something that they're not kind of too happy with, for example. So they did something, a certain action, for example, and now over the last 5 or 6 months, that particular person is like kind of a very much so regret, like kind of about that certain action that they did. So they are going through something very dark and very kind of very, very scary and very dark. They are going through themselves at the moment. So please, when that person winds you up or kind of irritate you or try to like kind of challenge you, you just need to understand, do not take this personal whatsoever. You need to understand, my gorgeous Virgolini, please don't take this personal, but you need to learn from this situation. Please learn from this situation. And how you gonna learn from this situation? You need to reflect on that person. Do not think that they're horrible or evil. No, baby, no. If you only know what this person is actually going through, you would like kind of like my god, you would be absolutely shocked. You would like faint, you know what I mean? So they are fighting with themselves really badly, and sadly they are taking this quite a lot on other people. So they're at a very kind of difficult stage of their life themselves. So what you need to remember is, please don't take it personal, but at the same time, what you need to pay attention to is why you need to try to reflect and reflex. Hello, darling, reflex. You need to reflect and realize, like kind of like what that person is actually going through and where this is coming from, and because you need to find out exactly why this person is feeling like this. So it's not your job like to kind of argue back or anything like that. Just be as gentle as you possibly can, but it's more about you digging a little bit deeper and trying to find out something very specific about that person that they did to themselves, like over the last 5 to 6 months, for example, that now they're like just like really kind of in a very darkened stage place. So you just have to like kind of like really maybe use this as an advantage, so you kind of like really know what situation that person kind of went through, so you can avoid this. You see what I mean? There is something more that I'm trying to tell you here. It's just about you trying to find out, like it's so easy, like to just kind of avoid argument and just, yeah, smile on your face. Hello, my darling. How you? Love you. Do you know what I mean? Smile on your face or whatever. Just remember what I said. But it's more about you finding out something very sacred, actually, in quite a few different ways. In some way, this is going to be huge confirmation to you because it's already to do with the things that you were aware about. But then again, at the same time, you know, you need to kind of like refresh your memory with this once again, because the spirit world and your guardian angels want you to pay attention to this and to avoid what that person has done, so you don't kind of get into this stage, because this person is kind of losing themselves, and this is going to be such a wonderful opportunity for you to kind of like really kind of like do the right thing. Do you know what I mean? So to know what this person is going through, so you can kind of avoid this at absolutely all costs. This is so important. And even more so, a couple of days after that, this in itself, where you're gonna be it's not only about that person, it's not only about this situation, but it's more about you just really coming to terms with something after a couple of days after that. Now this is gonna help you to open your eyes. You're gonna ground yourself like a big mama. You're gonna center yourself so beautifully, so nicely, and this is really kind of going to open your eyes, and it's also kind of going to make you aware of your own power. This is going to make you aware of your own power, and it's at the same time going to actually give you a very interesting idea. This idea, it's not something that is the first time that you've had, but this is going to be like kind of almost like an old idea. It's going to be highlighted, but there is something very additional going to come through, going to come forward. So it's not only about an idea, but it's about confirmation. It's about something additional coming through, which is all going to contribute towards you really wanting to make a massive, huge, giant move. This is going to motivate you like there is no tomorrow. But most importantly, you're going to find yourself on a very sacred path where you're going to be left absolutely with no option but to start to think how you can turn your goals into reality, how can make things that you want to make real, how to make them real. So basically how to turn your goals and ideas into reality. And you will know exactly what to do. You will know exactly what to stick to, because it's all about a certain plan which is going to be unfolded at the same time. So this is a big mama. Again, this is important. When this big plan comes forward, come through, you will know exactly what to stick to in form of like you know, paying attention to the certain path of your life and realizing exactly how far this is actually going to take you. And very interesting message you're gonna get at around a similar time. And the interesting message that you are going to get, it's really going to surprise you about a certain success. Something is going to surprise you, and it's to do with your success, and it's becoming very successful. And this in itself, it's also kind of going to give you really positive vibe and positive energy and positive feeling about your financial situation. And this in itself, it's also going to contribute towards you realizing like, oh my God, I'm getting to the point where I am about to make an absolutely mind-blowing decision. This is all going to lead towards you making a mind-blowing decision, my gorgeous Virgolini, but you have to wait for a few weeks. Now this is all starting. Now this is the beginning. So this is something that you need to pay attention to. And also, look at this, my gorgeous Virgolini. For example, here. Been around the world and I. Look at this. I can find my baby. I don't know when, I don't know why. Is he gonna win? I don't know where he can be. My Virgolini, but I'm gonna find you. Now, sorry, my gorgeous Virgolini. So now, basically, I'm just going I've got my moments. I've got my moments. I've got my moments. Sorry, my gorgeous Virgolini. So now, look, when I'm shuffling these cards, now this is specifically, I'm going to pay attention to the mid part of this week. Hello, darling. Hello, love. I'm going to pay attention to the mid part of this week, my gorgeous Virgolini. Mid part of this week. Mid part of this week. The mid part of this week is going to be really brilliant because it's all about the truth. It's all about a certain truth coming out. Certain truth is coming out. Certain truth is coming out. This truth that is coming out that you're going to become aware of, it's really going to help you to make a certain decision. And that in itself, it's all also going to help you to be honest with yourself, and it's also going to help you to realize exactly what do you need to do at this stage in your life in order not to pay the consequences. So this is going to also kind of highlight what you need to be impartial and unbiased about, but then again it's going to highlight exactly like what to do in order to avoid like paying the certain consequences. So this is what you need to pay attention to. So it's all going to happen, and it's all gonna start with that particular truth that you're going to find out. And look at this baby here. So now it's also this is you're gonna find yourself at around the midweek. I like it so much. You're also, after that, you're gonna find yourself facing a very new an interesting project. I like this so much. After you find out that truth, after you become aware of that truth, at the same time, this is gonna be really big as well. Just remember this. After you find out that truth, this truth is going to be another mind-blowing eye-opener. But at the same time, after you find out that truth, this is gonna make you aware that, you know, there is some kind of new project that it's about that it's about to be on your mind. There is some kind of new idea and a new project going to be on your mind, and you need to understand that, you know, that idea and that project that it's going to be on your mind, this is not something that is going to be on your mind for the first time. You see what I mean? How you're catching up with things, throughout this week. It's Karma Mama, it's about to come back and give you a big kiss, because now you have done things right. And I'm not saying like, oh my God, you're doing things wrong, no baby, no. But over the last few months, you have a kind of like stuck to yourself. You have following your own intuition. You have been following your own guidance, and this is almost like a very much so a karmic massive reward that you are going to have, where you realize, oh my God, I've got an opportunity. I had that opportunity before, but now suddenly I'm ready to take on that opportunity. I will be able to make so many changes. You know, I will be able to actually do this. Why? Because now suddenly I'm realizing that I've got absolutely everything I need. And you becoming aware of some kind of a sneakiness and dishonesty and really sneaky people at a similar time, this is all gonna benefit and contribute towards you really understanding that now it's time to actually take that new project. Now it's time to start with that new project, because you thought that it's very interesting stage of your life, but it's also like kind of something additional. It's to do with something additional you're bringing into this present moment to make your life even more colorful as you possibly can. The more colorful you make your life at this moment in time, the more you're gonna gain out of it. It's almost as like just what you need to understand, that any kind of idea that comes to you, or any realization or any project that comes to you, even if it's a brand new, if it's happening throughout this week, you are doing something like crazy in a good way. You're planting spiritual seeds because the time is absolutely right. Spiritually, this is a pretty much so a very, very fertile stage of your life in terms of you planting the actual seeds. Well, you also need to remember that you are going to become aware of some kind of like a crazy things that you're going to hear on the outside every now and then, but you must not allow this darkness to take over your life. Okay, so this is what you need to understand, to try to ignore the negativity on the outside as much as you possibly can, because if you do, because you're going to hear a couple of things that are absolutely ludicrous, absolutely crazy. You're not going to be able to believe what you're going to hear when it comes to this week on the outside. Nothing to do with your life in particular, personal life, but it's been affecting your life. So what you're going to hear a couple of things again, you're going to think like you're not going to be able to believe that people can actually be like this, but then again you're not going to be completely surprised. But my point is that karmically, spiritually, this is a very strong and powerful week. So you must not think negatively, because it could work both ways. Remember what I said about planting spiritual seeds. So this works both ways. So the more optimistic you are, it's going to be fantastic. That's exactly what you need to do throughout this week. Make the most of it. But it works both ways as well. If you're very negative, very sad, please don't waste this energy to be negative, to be sad, or to be depressed. I know it's easy for me to say, but we are in charge of our lives. We are in charge of things that we actually do. We are in charge the way of how we feel. It comes from us. So this is what you need to remember. Don't really allow this absolutely devilish energy on the outside to take over whatsoever. And it can take over like by you listening to it and then just kind of thinking negatively, because you're at such a stage in your life where you are also like you can make this kind of negativity, you can like kind of manifest this negativity, and that can become such a huge challenge. You know, it can kind of in turn into like really massive challenges into your life. So this is something that you need to remember. And also when it comes to the midweek, my gorgeous Virgolini, it's just like, this is so important. Like look at this. It is like you know, like almost like your inner child, almost like your inner child will be calling you, and almost like there is so much that you are gonna feel like at around the midweek, you know, with the specific parts of your life when you were like really child, you know, when it comes to your childhood, you will be able to kind of like think about really happy memories and happy things, and you're not going to be able to kind of understand where this is coming from. But at the same time, you know, what you need to understand is that you are facing such a powerful stage of your life where you're also going to realize the importance of the actual people in your life who mean to you so much, who are so important to you. And this, your childhood and things like that, it's just going to really remind you of all the people who are so beautiful in your life, all the people who mean to you so much, all the people who really know you, all the people who really understand you, all the people who really genuinely love you. And you're going to feel like really emotional, and you're going to feel so good. And through the actual this vibration, you are going to start feeling a very strong energy in order to connect and reconnect with a certain people. So don't be surprised if you find yourself like texting like a Marie, or texting like a Jane, or texting like a Linda, or texting Mark, or texting John, or texting George, or someone who you haven't seen in a long time. Do not be surprised whatsoever, because this is exactly what this energy is doing. And it's also going to kind of pinpoint on the certain person in your past who you need to cooperate with a little bit more. You're also going to be reminded of the certain person in your past who you need to cooperate with that person a little bit more. It is very important for you to understand this, because that particular person, there is something very sensitive about this person also, and this is why that person would find your energy like extremely beneficial, especially when it comes to the actual healing and things like that. And this is all gonna contribute towards you like kind of also like these parts. I know this sounds crazy, but it's about an inner child, and this is such a powerful, mind-blowing stage of our life, because you are kind of being pulled, you are kind of being, your memory is being refreshed. You're almost like your energy and your spirit is being reprimanded. You know, your spirit is being like affected, not affected, but your spirit is like kind of like something is going to try to gain the actual the attention of your own spirit, especially when it comes to like all these things. When you're focusing on your past and you're thinking like about the certain things that you're going to find yourself thinking about, whether you believe this or not. But this is all going to contribute towards you wanting to make an absolutely massive change. All this is going to answer a really big question to you. You will see by the end of the week, because you are very much so strongly going to feel how you want to make an ultimate change, how you want to make a huge massive change in your life. And this is exactly what you're going to be doing at the end of the week as well. So the beginning of the week, it's all going to be like, oh, how you can make an ultimate change in your life. But this is indeed going to reflect on so many other people who are very important to you, people who mean to you so much, like your family members or your friends and things like that. You see, this is all going to contribute towards you really wanting to make that really big change. But that big change is going to primarily consist of you like being closer to people who mean to you so much, or you reconnecting with them. You will see. But it's also to do with you doing something rather successful at that moment in time, because the news that you're going to hear about at around the end of the week, it's also like kind of going to be about your financial situation, about your success, and this is going to be rather victorious moment in time. But at the same time, when it it comes to the finances and things like that, things are going to start looking up really, really great for you, my gorgeous Virgolini, indeed. And also, you know, when it comes to the last part of this week, you know, there's somebody, oh gosh, my God, this is like so interesting. When it comes to the last part of this week, it's like somebody is like very much so, you need to help to someone. My gorgeous Virgolini, the more you give, the more you're going to get back. Okay, and it's not that I need to say this to you, but when I say the more you give, the more you're gonna get back, it's not necessarily money, money, money. No, baby, no, it's not necessarily money, money, money. I'm talking about the actual emotions. I'm talking about our energy. I'm talking about our power that we actually hold within in order to actually, you know, like transfer this power and this energy onto someone else when it comes to the actual healing, because someone really at the end of the week, you are going to become aware of the person in your life who really needs your help. Somebody is like getting into a rather different stage of their life, but it's a lot to do maybe with some kind of a drugs, or it's maybe to do with some kind of a really kind of not a good addiction. So you need to understand that that person needs help, because so this is someone who is very close to you. This is someone who's quite important to you. This is someone who means to you so much. This is not someone like crazy or someone weird, someone bizarre. No, baby, no. This is someone who is ridiculously close to you, and this person is holding a very kind of high stage in your life. Do you know what I mean? This is someone who you really love. So you need to help to that person at the end of the week, because you will know that it's to do with some kind of addictions, but also you are honestly, literally the only person who can actually help to that person. That person now, it's a kind of getting to the very difficult stage of their life when it comes to their own addiction or something like that. So you have got the power. You know what to say. You know what to do. You need to pull this person out of this as soon as possible. And it's going to be very hard and very difficult, because we are talking about someone really sensitive. But what you need to do at this stage, at this moment in your life, you are able to do this. You see, try to kind of make them to look forward to something. Say that you're maybe like kind of going somewhere, or say that you're going to do something. Make them to look forward to something that they want, because I know that that person also wants maybe to go somewhere really badly, or to do something really badly, but they're waiting for you, and maybe like going somewhere or doing something. Do you know what I mean? But this is also going to bring the whole world of like a changes and a very positive energy and vibration that you're going to do at that moment in time. So when it comes to dealing with somebody with such a difficult addiction, you don't just go there and just say like, oh yeah, listen, you've got an addiction, stop it. No, baby, no. But it's just like, what now, the way out would be also like quite a lot by you kind of giving something to that person to kind of look forward to. And you can do this, and you can make a decision kind of to go somewhere or something, and that person can't do it at the moment. It's something like that along those lines. So please try to kind of see who this is, and this is going to be something that is also going to be so beneficial for them when it comes to their own healing. But also at the same time, you are going to very slowly but surely, you're going to need to kind of start breaking the ice a little bit when it comes to that addiction. What can that person do in order to kind of like help themselves and things like that. So it's a lot kind of going to come from you, and you are going to be playing a very important role when it comes to that person coming out of something very, very negative indeed. And even if you're not aware of like who am I talking about, you will know who am I talking about by the end of this week. You will. Even if you're not aware of like who is he talking about, by the end of the week that person is going to do something, and you will know who am I talking about. Okay, so you will literally know who am I talking about, because that is going to be highlighted throughout this week. And also, my gorgeous Virgolini, when it comes to the end of this week, you know, you are going to be thinking about some kind of a beautiful gift, some kind of a sacred gift, something that is so sacred to you, something that is so beautiful to you, something that is so unique about you. My gorgeous Virgolini, it's all about your sacred gift. This is the last part of this week. It's also about your sacred gift. That sacred gift you need to take on the next level. Do you understand me? This could be absolutely anything, some kind of sacred gift. Every single one of us, every single person, no matter what people say, I really don't care, but every single person in this world is absolutely brilliant and very special and very unique when when it comes to something really specific. And yes, I know that lots of people are going to say, oh no, I'm not really unique in anything. No, baby, no. Yes, you are. You just still didn't find it. You just still didn't find yourself. You didn't find that spirit. You didn't dig deep enough when it comes to your soul in order to kind of reflect on your life, where you can just know and understand what your spiritual purpose is. Like, for example, I know exactly what my spiritual purpose is, but that doesn't mean that every single person needs to know, always what their spiritual purpose is. So even if you don't know what this is, my gorgeous Virgolini, I think that you are going to have like a really much so a little hint at the end of the week, where you're gonna wake up in the morning, you're gonna open your gorgeous eyes, and it's all gonna like kind of, it's gonna be certain things, certain words, certain thought, it's going to be on your mind. And so that could also come in that particular way. Now suddenly you're feeling, oh my god, I want to explore this part of my life, I want to do this, something is going to be on your mind, even if you're not aware of what this gift is, spiritual gift that I'm talking about, what you're very different and unique about. This is going to be highlighted at the end of the week also, like in terms of like you waking up, you're dreaming about it, and it's to do with like a subconscious state of mind, like kind of coming forward and like kind of making you aware of something that is so sacred at this moment in time, because this is all about you understanding that this is also going to be connected to the actual new opportunity, and potential. But most importantly, you are going to become aware of which steps do you need to take next. Now this is all to do with moderation, balance, harmony. You need to be patient, but at the same time it's also a lot to do with you mixing and blending things together to create something new. And this is going to also like kind of be the time where you're going to need to understand that you're going to need to pay attention to like certain rules and follow certain rules. But then at the same time, on another hand, this is needed in order for you to establish yourself, and by you doing this, you are really kind of gonna this is going to be beneficial for your emotional maturity and that particular balance, but it's also like kind of going to make you aware of things and people that you should be tolerant, towards at this time of your life. There is also, like, by you taking your time, there are certain skills that you are going to become aware of when it comes to you, especially in terms of your own creativity. And also, my gorgeous Virgolini, at around the end of the week, it's like this is brilliant. You are literally going to have a reason for celebration. Why you're going to have a reason for celebration by the end of the week, it's because an absolutely mind-blowing contemplation, something that was on your mind for the last 4 months that you've actually find really challenging. Now you're just gonna go for it like there is no tomorrow. You are just gonna decide to do something, when it comes to that contemplation, that you have found like really challenging, and it was like really affecting you. And now this is like kind of, it was really kind of making you really worried, that contemplation. There was something so challenging that you have like kind of find about it that slowed you down. So that it's going to be such a brilliant moment at the end of the week. So it's all about the contemplation, and you kind of like really having a reason for celebration, because you will know that there is something very, very challenging coming up. But this in itself, it's also becoming the moment where there is going to be such an enormous unfoldment, new stage in your life about to appear. It's all about you literally walking into a whole new dimension. I'm not even being funny here. So the 16th of October, my gorgeous Virgolini, you need to understand that new portal, it's about to open. You're about to walk into a brand new dimension, and you are going to find yourself being so much busier. You're going to find yourself being so much more energetic. You're going to find yourself being so inspired, and all those things that are making you feel so negative and sad and dark and they were slowing you down, now you're going to be able to turn into something positive. What was making you feel really negative and scary, now this is going to be a greatest motivation ever, and you will see exactly what I mean. Okay, my gorgeous Virgolini, I love you all so much. Of course I do. I'm sending you brightest blessings, lots of love, healing, peace and light to every single one of you. Thank you ever so much for watching my videos. Sasha Bonasin, Psychic Medium. Love you. Bye.